Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawashi Ba, Yahawashi Ba, Waharakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace, many blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, the by after our die, for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. This is going to be a quick lesson. As you can see on the screen here, we're going to go into prophecy as much, and we're going to kick this thing into overdrive. All right, with all these distractions and these psyops that are going on. Let us not forget that prophecy is taking place. Now, we understand that World War III will not commence until the chip is really being pushed on a high level, and it's not yet. But obviously, we're in that season, okay? And prophecy will commence. There's no stopping it. The devil can't stop it. You wicked jakes can't stop it. And anybody else that's trying to stop the word of Yahawashi, yeah, you might slow it down, or you're not really slowing it down. You're just providing, you can't do anything against the truth but for it. So as we continue to speak this word, fear of the reprimands or the reprisals of the people of this world is not going to stop those who have the spirit of Yahawashi Ba. So without any more lecturing, let's go into it. This is from an article from ABC News, okay? It says U.S. allies clash with China, Russia over nuclear missiles from North Korea. So if you haven't heard, North Korea has, in a response to the military drills of South Korea and America, because let's not forget, the reason they're shooting these missiles is because South Korea and America are holding joint military exercises right next door. How would you feel if your greatest enemy moved right next door to you and started having shooting practice in the front yard and using the picture of you and your family as target practice? How would you feel? Anyway, it says the United States and its allies have clashed with China and Russia over North Korea's escalating ballistic missile launches and American-led military exercises in South Korea, again preventing any action by the divided UN Security Council. That's right. So they're having beef amongst each other because North Korea, all right, is being a little bit more aggressive because again, America and South Korea are holding joint military exercises right next door, but nobody's reporting on that. Least of all, ABC News. Super biased ass people. These people, anyway, let's get to scriptures. 2 Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and this is a great sign. This is a great sign of things to come. This is a sign of things to come. Esau, Edom, okay, you red-blooded Americans, you're once again, all right, causing issues in someone else's land. You brought division into the peninsula of Korea, and now you're starting to feel the backlash of your presence in that region. Okay? It says, verse 2, and then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. That's right. So there's signs and wonders that are taking place. These prophecies are coming out faster and faster. It's so much so that it's hard to keep up with them, but we're doing our best. We stand on our watch as the Lord commanded us to. Verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and there's plenty of those both. There's a lot of uproars. A lot of the people that had to take these jabs to get their jobs or keep their jobs, they're starting to have an uproar. Especially here in America, there's an uproar to get these people who were fired for not taking the jab to get them their job back. But the people who are in power or figureheads, they're fighting against that, and they don't want to give payback. Okay, or what's the word I'm looking for? But you know what I'm saying? They don't want to pay you back for the months of time of work that you've lost, the revenue that you lost because you were forced to take a jab. He's the devil. Verse 4 says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So even from the beginning, the Lord earmarked that there was going to be a time when World War III will come on the earth. There will be a time when a place called Babylon the Great would be stirring up anger. Okay, anger amongst the nations toward them. So much so that everyone else will consider shooting nukes on this place. Okay? Because they drunk of the wine of Babylon and they're sick of it. Babylon has been nothing but a desecration to this earth, man. And everybody's sick of your constant nosy, your Karen behavior, because that's what America is. America is a giant Karen, okay? They just always want to poke their fucking nose in your business. And whenever you speak up and say, get the fuck out of here, Karen, I want to speak to your manager. That's what America is. America is a gigantic Karen. All right. Every time you come around, everybody's this bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's America, right? It says, verse 5, it says, for like it's all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Let's start at 4 again. I might have skipped over that. 2 Ezra 9 and 4 says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. It says, for like it's all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end and the end is manifest. And the end is manifesting through America showing that wine and passing that wine on to these different nations. And these wines are getting pissed off. Okay? Russia and China are starting to back up those countries that are a little bit more bolder to speak up against America and their ways. Okay? Because remember, this devil's coming with a wine that's going to, that's going, because the Lord has put the spirit on them. Okay. He's put the spirit on the nations to give the Edomites their reign, okay, or their power, all right, just so they can keep us in captivity. That goes to show you that these heathens hate you too, Jake. All right, this is Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. That's right. What kind of wine did he transgresseth by? Let's go to Jeremiah. We're gonna get back to the article. All right. The article just goes and outlines all of the many distractions and divisions that are going on between these different nations. Okay. And on the other side of America is led by Russia and China. Keep that in mind. They figure very prominently in the prophecy to come. All right. Mainly with the nuclear weapons. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 51 and 7. Let's start at 6. Jeremiah 51 and 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. This is a part of her iniquity. All the wickedness that they're doing throughout the earth, the divisions they're creating. This is all against them. This is witnessing against them. It says, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And he's going to do it using the other nations and their weaponry. You've been hearing a lot spoken about nukes in the news. When, I ask you, when has this been talked about every other day? It hasn't. Not even in the 80s when the whole Cold War was at its height. I'm sure not even, maybe during the Cuban Missile Crisis, but not even really then. Verse 7, Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand. that made all the earth drunken. So Babylon is that wine that the Lord is using to drunk or to get drunk the other nations. Okay. That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, right? Therefore, the nations are mad. They're pissed the hell off. They see the writing on the wall. They see that you're going down. They're not spiritual because they're heathen, but they do understand power structures do fall, and they can understand when a power structure is getting ready to fall. Even Esau feels that, but he's trying to hold on as long as he can. Okay. Habakkuk 2:1. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Right. This is what's pissing off the other nations. It says, neither keepeth at home. Is that not America? He don't never be. He's going the way of the Romans. Okay. He's spread too thin. All right. It says, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's right. So he has an attitude that everybody on this earth belongs to him. Okay. It's like it. That's his attitude right now. Okay. Never mind the fact that he's completely wrong, but that's what he thinks. So the Lord has given him that delusion, okay, to think that he's actually in charge when really he's just a placeholder until the Israelites are redeemed. All right. The elect are redeemed of the Israelites. Verse 6. And until that happens, this is what we're commanded to do. Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him? And what's that taunting proverb? That you're going to be destroyed via intercontinental ballistic missiles and the chariots, by the way, which that has been in the news lately as well. These devils see the writing on the wall. They can't do anything about it, though. It says, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? And that's the other nations. He's raising him up, led by China and Russia. It says, and awake and shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for them, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. This is coming for you, America, aka Babylon the Great. Everybody's going to come looking at you. They're going to come to spoil you. You're going to be the booties this time, okay? It says, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. And that's what's happening. Now you're being exposed, and the entire world sees it. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Okay? Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down into Egypt for help. And Slakia. Wrong one. Isaiah 33:1. Slakia. This is Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest. It says, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. That's right. Woe to you. You've been effing over all these other countries. You fed them that wine. Now they're pissed off and they're looking to deal treacherously with you. Okay, it says, when they shall cease to spoil, when you shall cease to spoil, right? It says, thou shalt be spoiled. Woo! And that's what the Lord is doing. He's raising up these different nations to come up against you. And they puffing back, but it ain't working. It says, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. That's right. So, you talking all that tough talk going throughout the earth. I got missiles, I got this, I got that. Now that you done come to an end of that tough talk and trying to talk peace, now they talking nuclear weapons used on you in your cities. They're sending out flyers, and they're sending out images of them bombing these major cities in America. This is being done on a regular basis, despite watching it. The news media over here not telling you about it. Trust me, it's happening. Okay. Let's read a little bit of this article. If you want to get this article, this is in ABC News, and you can look under the header here. U.S. allies clash with China and Russia over North Korea missiles. Let's get into it. It says the United States and its allies clashed with China and Russia on Friday over North Korea's escalating ballistic missile launches and American-led military exercises. Right. It says in South Korea, again preventing any action by the deeply divided UN Security Council. The U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield said North Korea's staggering 59 ballistic missile launches this year, including 13 since October 27, and one that made an unprecedented impact about 50 kilometers, 30 miles from South Korea's shore, are about more than advancing Pyongyang's military capabilities and seek to raise tensions and stoke fear in its neighbors. But she left out the part where, we were doing military drills with South Korea. Oh, well, it says, she said 13 of 15 Security Council members have condemned North Korea's actions since the beginning of the year, but Pyongyang has been protected by Russia and China, who have bent over backwards to justify repeated violations of UN sanctions by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or the DPRK, the country's official name. And in turn, they have enabled the DPRK and made a mockery of this council, she said. That's right. So she's speaking up against Russia and China's involvement in trying to protect, North Korea and their actions. Sounds like war is brewing up to me. It says China's UN ambassador Zhang Jun countered that the DPRK missile launches are directly linked to the relaunch of the large-scale U.S.-South Korean military exercises after a 5-year break, with hundreds of warplanes involved. He also pointed to the U.S. Defense Department's 2022 nuclear posture review, which he said envisages the DPRK use of nuclear weapons, and claims that ending the DPRK regime is one of the strategy's main goals. Right. Which we all know. That's what happened to my man out of Libya. All right. Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi. He bought it. He believed you devils, and now look at him. He got something shoved up his ass, and he got put to death live on TV for believing you devils. That's why we tell our people never to trust the enemy, okay? And you are the enemy. Make no mistake about it. Russia's deputy UN ambassador Anna Evstigneeva blamed the significantly worsening situation on the Korean Peninsula on the desire of Washington to force Pyongyang to unilaterally disarm by using sanctions and exerting pressure and force. She called the U.S.-South Korean exercises that began on October 31st unprecedented in size, with about 240 military aircraft, and claimed that they are essentially a rehearsal for conducting massive strikes on the territory of the DPRK. We're coming into a time where it's unavoidable. You can't avoid the destruction that's getting ready to hit Babylon the Great. And it's being preceded by tough talk from both sides. There's a lot of tough talk that's being pushed, and it's leading up to war. Okay? This is a part of us measuring the times diligently. Okay? And remember, brothers and sisters, our job is to remain on watch. Okay? This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's right. So when we see and hear of articles like this, we need to not be troubled and just continue to watch and allow the Lord to do what he does. Okay, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. That's right. All of these things are measuring sticks for us to see what times we're in, what spirit we ought to be as the times are becoming clearer. Okay? Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, which leads to what? The time of Jacob's trouble, the day of Jacob's trouble, where there's going to be things that we can't even really say, because it's going to be so bad out here, y'all. It's going to be like the worst scary movie you ever thought of that could ever come true is here, right here in Babylon the Great. Okay? All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right? And what is that leading to? That's leading to an epic battle on the world stage known as World War II. Or World War III. Revelation 9:12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two more hereafter. Okay? Let's read that again. Revelation 9:12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. That's right. So World War I already passed, World War II is already passed, and we're getting ready to enter into World War III. All right? But there's a major distinction about this war versus the other two. Okay? And we're going to get it soon enough, but we're going to go back to the article. We're going to get a little bit more meat off that bone. Okay? Before we close out. It says, America's Thomas Greenfield responded to claims by China and Russia that the military drills were stoking tensions on the Korean Peninsula, which, come on, man. You can't have war games right next door to your enemy and think they're not going to say anything about it. Come on. It says, this is nothing but regurgitation of the DPRK propaganda. She said the long-standing defensive military exercises pose no threat to anyone, let alone a DPRK. Right, come on now. So after 5 years, you just all of a sudden wanted to start up some military drills. All after 5 years. Out of nowhere, huh? Okay. These people are full of shit. In contrast, just last month, the DPRK said its flurry of recent launches were the simulated use of tactical battlefield nuclear weapons to hit and wipe out potential U.S. and Republic of Korea targets. She said the DPRK is simply using this as an excuse to continue to advance its unlawful programs. The Security Council imposed sanctions after North Korea's first nuclear test explosion in 2006 and tightened them over the years, seeking to rein in its nuclear and ballistic missile programs and cut off funding. In May, however, China and Russia blocked a Security Council resolution that would have toughened sanctions over the missile launches in the first serious rift on the Council over the sanctions against North Korea. As you can see, that rift is continuing to grow, and it's going to lead to a major war event. Okay? Revelation 11:14, and this is what it's going to lead to. The second woe is past, right? World War II is already passed, all right? And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. That's right. That's right, man. Okay, so the third war is coming very quick. Just as sure as you can see this article, you can feel the tension rising. We're not even in those security meetings, and you can feel the tenseness. Yeah, look, and if you want to get some more of this, you can check out this article, okay? And they're all coming up against each other, right? Back and forth we go. So if you want to get this article, okay, it's in the ABC News. U.S. allies clash with China, Russia over North Korea missiles. We're coming into the time where, you know, it's undeniable. This place is about to be destroyed with nukes. And other places as well. China gonna get hit, Russia gonna get hit, but America's the only country that's going to actually be decimated, okay? And let's get that, we'll get out of here. This is Isaiah 9:5. Isaiah 9:5, it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." That's the distinction of the war to come versus the last two world wars. The next war is going to be fought with nuclear Armageddon at the top of the show. You ain't gonna have to wait till the last bit to get there. You're gonna get it right at the beginning. So I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Ba, Shem, Yahawashi, Ba, Shem, Yahawashi, Shalom to the elect.